Good day. I will be discussing about an emergency preparedness tip. In particular, like here in South Florida, when it comes to hurricanes, a good tip when it comes to an emergency is to make sure that you have supplies on hand. In the event if something does happen, you want to be prepared. So it's always good to have lights, and extra batteries in the event if you need them, because flashlights are very important, you know, in the event that as the electricity will more than likely be off, in case of down power lines and storm surges and things of that sort. As well as it's also good to have your personal documents very handy with you, such as, your some form of ID, passports, in case you have to travel, things like that, emergency cash on hand, your credit cards and other personal documents that you probably want to store away into a container that would be accessible for you to carry. It is also good to make sure that you have extra food items, that could be, that are non-perishable, that you can use to keep you nourished in the event if, you have to eat and, evacuate the home. So those are things you can also do, as well as, making sure that you have your home secured. Generators should be stored in a compartment out apart from your household, because those things can catch fire, and you don't want a generator to be a part of your home and something just goes wrong with it. And also, if a generator backs up and smoke gets into the home, you can also die of asphyxiation from carbon monoxide, which is also another hazard you should be aware of. So having a secure generator on an outside enclosure that is not connected to your home is also another good idea. And in the event of an emergency such as storms. And not to mention, you should also have your phones fully charged before a storm comes, just in the event if you have to make a call, for an emergency purpose. And also, it's good to have an evacuation plan. Make sure that all of the exits of your home are accessible for you to get out. Because in the event if you have to get out, you don't want to be stuck and cause another hazard for yourself. And in the event for those people who have gas tanks, propane tanks, it's also good to make sure that the propane tanks are off and they are secured in enclosures as well, to prevent debris from hitting it, because you don't want a gas leak to take place. So that's another thing you should be aware of when it comes to storms, and protecting your homes. And not to mention, have good hurricane shutters in the event that debris may hit the windows. So you would also want to be aware of that, as that can be a hazard as well. So yes, those are some tips that you can take into consideration when it comes to, an emergency such as storms, in particular here in South Florida, because we get those. So always remember safety first, and word to the wise sufficient.